Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main attraction of the evening. Taking place in the 145-pound bar. Introducing first, the Peters from the red corner, representing Warriors Mixed Martial Arts. Wearing the solid black Warriors red trunks, please welcome Tyler the Razor Cutsforth! And his opponent, from out of the blue corner, wearing the orange, black, and silver trunks, he represents Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brian Sullivan!
Tyler, you got this! Tyler, you got this!
All right, a very highly anticipated main event here tonight. Both Tyler Cutsforth and Brian Sullivan are very big local draws here. And it's going to be curious to see how it goes. It's kind of strange, but, you know, Tyler's got the height advantage, but I see it as a striker-grappler match between Brian having the better, faster stand-up and knockout power, and Tyler being very good on the ground.
I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, Tyler!
That being said, both these fighters are very well-rounded. They both know what they're doing.
Yeah, very good point. I mean, you see Tyler's not scared of the stand-up in any way, and once we get to the ground, if it does go to the ground, you'll see how very good Brian is on the ground as well. So, I mean, like you said, well-rounded, but I think they both have a preferred area they'd be in.
Now, the interesting thing is Sullivan's back has been on the cage for the entire fight thus far, which if Tyler wants to shoot, that's exactly where he wants him.
Yeah, Brian throwing very quick strikes. You can already see a little bit of red on Tyler's face from that hook Brian landed just a moment ago. But no one's landed anything too detrimental yet or anything too clean. Both are using their defense as well and moving their heads a lot. A big feel-out moment going on here for the last 30 seconds or so after a very fast start.
You can definitely see how much respect both these fighters have for each other.
Yeah, both using their kicks well. Oh, big shots by Brian and a nice body kick.
Nothing landing terribly clean, but I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to be throwing strikes.
Oh, another
that
big
was
one.
much better.
And followed by a head kick. Brian's definitely getting the edge in the stand-up right now. He's getting more comfortable. And Tyler's putting him against cage there.
I think Tyler stayed in the pocket a little too long there.
Felt to me like he kind of missed his opportunity if he wanted to shoot right there. Definitely. Where he got Brian to come up, and he didn't take his advantage of it, and Brian moved off the cage.
I've watched Tyler for a good portion of his career, seen him grow as a fighter, and his stand-up has come a long ways. A mistake a lot of fighters make that come from ground backgrounds and end up learning how to strike is they end up wanting to come out there and strike.
You know, it's like you're in my head. I was almost about to mention the exact same thing, where the worst thing that could happen to Tyler here is, although he can compete in the stand-up, is to feel like you can win the stand-up and want to prove that and not go to the ground, because it doesn't matter if you can beat Brian in stand-up. He's got knockout power, and the one thing we haven't seen from Tyler through his fights, although he has improved in it, is knockout power. That's just something you can't train. So we don't know that Tyler actually has knockout power, but he's crisp and he's clean, but Brian does. You don't want to risk that.
Exactly, and the big thing is, no matter how you cut it, Tyler is a great ground fighter. He is an amazing grappler. He should go to his strength. And thus not looked for a takedown at all, as far as I can tell. You'd had that opportunity with Brian against the cage and didn't take the opportunity. So I fear he's going to try to stand with Brian, which is the worst decision he can make.
Well, and he's got a really smart camp behind him with Warriors Fitness.
Excellent camp.
They're very smart. They have good game plans, and maybe they're coming in. They know Tyler can hang in the stand-up, and if we get Brian thinking he's not going to shoot, you know, maybe that helps in the later rounds. Yeah, it opens it up. But here we are. Tyler got tagged, and now he's shooting in. That's muscles memory coming in. That's what he wants to be.
He's really close on that pick, but if he can switch to a double leg, I think he's got the takedown.
Yeah, Brian's defending it well, though. Brian's got, like we had talked about earlier, he's an all-around fighter. It's not like he's one-dimensional.
Right.
So it's not going to be an easy thing for Tyler to get that takedown. And as long as Brian's getting the edge in the stand-up, you know, he can be a little more reckless with it, a little bit, you know, looser with his stand-up, which just makes him move out, move in quicker, so it's kind of harder to take him down. It's always nice if you're a ground fighter, if they're scared of you taking them down, and they'll throw a lot of punches. And that could have been what's happening even earlier in this fight. Brian was still throwing, but he's not letting it fly. And if he starts thinking Tyler ain't going to be able to get him on the ground, it might be bad for Tyler because Brian might throw a whole lot more.
Exactly. Tyler's having some success backing him down to the cage, but he's not taking advantage of it. I would love to see him get Brian pinned up against the cage, throw a combination, and drop and shoot.
Yeah, and the only time he shot so far is when he got tagged. So I really do feel like they're maybe trying to get Brian to get out of the whole stop takedown mode. And Tyler may have ruined that a little bit by shooting when he got hit, but that seems the direction it might be going because there's no way Tyler wants to stand with him the whole fight.
Agreed.
Looks like we're going to round number 2, though. All right, here we go for round number 2 of our main event. So far, I think Brian got the edge in that whole first round. Nothing got too brutal happened in it or too dominant, but I think he controlled the cage pretty good. We had mentioned in the first round that, you know, in Tyler's earlier fights that we've seen, he was a very one-dimensional fighter, a ground fighter. His stand-up was very lacking, but he has improved so much in his time in the cage, and he is actually very good on his feet now. And again, you had mentioned the first round that can sometimes be a bad thing, thinking that you're now a stand-up fighter when that's not what you were good at in the beginning. And his whole game has improved. His ground is even better than it started. Yeah, and it's not just, you know, everybody can have it done to him. It's not just these small shows. Ronda Rousey had it happen to her. Josh Koscheck had it happen to him. They were amazing ground fighters who established their dominance that way, and then they got good on their feet, and that's actually what ended them.
Yeah.
You know, they started thinking, oh, I'm going to stand up with everyone because I'm good at it now. And I don't know if sometimes it can be pride, wanting to prove to everyone that you can do it, or it's just fun maybe. You got good at something finally that you were working on, and you want to do it. But regardless, in this fight as well, Tyler, I can guarantee you, should be on the ground. Even if Brian is better than him on the ground, it's not that much better as Brian is on his feet.
Well, it's not even always who's better in each position. You want to be where you're strongest, and Tyler is strongest on the ground. He is an amazing grappler, and he needs to take advantage of that. And he hasn't been looking for the takedown in this fight, and that's going to end up biting him in the butt.
Yeah, and I mean, this is it's 3 5-minute rounds. We're not even halfway through this round here, or halfway through the fight. So he's got time, but I think bigger than the clock for him on when he's going to be able to get to the ground and work something is Brian's confidence on the feet.
Yeah.
The more confident Brian gets on the feet, the harder it's going to be to contend with him on his feet. Oh, Tyler's moving there, but Brian got a little bit of overhand right there. It didn't land clean, but you could see it caught Tyler a little bit. And it doesn't have to land clean always. You know, some of those, they just clip you the wrong way.
And Tyler's doing a great job on the stand-up right now. He's not getting the better edge of it, but he is controlling it pretty good. He's keeping himself safe, and he's keeping Brian on his back against the cage, which this is a perfect opportunity right here. If he lands a strike or two and then shoots, this is perfect. But he's waiting just a little bit too long and letting Brian get himself out of it.
Yeah, and it's definitely possible that, you know, it sounds as we're talking here that we're saying Tyler's getting dominated. And that's in no way happening. Tyler is competing on stand-up, and he's looking very good.
Very.
But if I was going to lay out keys to victory at the beginning of this for Tyler to win, it would have been get the fight to the ground.
Agreed.
And Brian's would have been avoid the takedown. And just like that right there, it doesn't matter what moment it is and how good Tyler's doing, Brian lands one shot, and it stumbles Tyler.
Exactly.
And that's all it takes. And
plus, the longer the fight goes on, the more tired Tyler's going to be, and it's going to be a little bit harder to get that takedown.
And I can guarantee you, 100%, you go to Brian's corner, and their game plan was exactly what's happening right now. Brian
Excellent
keeping on his
strike by
feet.
Tyler.
Yeah, and their game plan is Brian keeping on his feet and avoid takedown. And if Tyler's game plan was also to keep it on his feet, I think that's a mistaken game plan. And like you said, Tyler landed a good shot there. and he's looking good on his feet. But as it goes on, I think Brian's winning it on his feet. He's faster, he's more technical looking, and he throws more.
He's more comfortable. He's been doing it longer.
Oh, big shot. That stunned Tyler bad.
And see, we don't want Tyler to be shooting stunt. That's the big thing, is right now his attacks, his takedowns have come while he's wobbling.
And we just said it. Brian's amazing on the ground, too. He's so well-rounded, and now you let him get on top.
And it's just a bad position for Tyler.
Now, exactly, I was about to say it. Brian should just stand up right here. Let him back up. Tyler's still stunned, it looks.
Yeah, his legs are not under him right now.
And Brian didn't even land one of his big hooks. He just landed a straight left, cross right down the middle. And right there, he lands it again. Tyler's hands are sitting way too low because of that exhaustion.
I think that was a mistake by Sullivan.
I completely agree. He decided to shoot this time because he's getting a little tired. And now Tyler trying for that arm bar. And Tyler's in a very good position for what he wants. And, oh, I think he has it, dude. I think he has that arm bar. He might finish it right here. A little confusion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 4 minutes and 48 seconds of round number 2 by submission. Armbar. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your winner, Tyler Cutsforth.